till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I've got a green hue today. All kinds of camera fun going on around here. Boy, it's really green, isn't it? Let me see what we can do about that. Good news. Good news, camera comes in tomorrow, hopefully before the show. Enough is enough with this nonsense, huh? See if that does anything. Anyhow, we're going to get away and go with this thing because we've got a lot of games to cover. We don't have a lot of time to do it, and we are live streaming tonight. We're going to cover that Cleveland OKC game at 7:30. So get ready, get set, because we are ready to go. And it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We got a big card in front of us here. 4 NHL games. I could have gone even deeper. We'll probably get deeper tonight as we go into this live stream because I love a game. A slate like tonight's going to be so much fun. We're no more just NFL on Thursdays here. We've got 13 or 14 NHL games tonight? We got a 6-pack or so of the NBA and a loaded college basketball slate in front of us. So we're going to have all kinds of opportunities to put parlays together. Live bet across the slate. We all got to work together. Tonight's super important. We all got to look at these live lines and find these spots to go fire because we are wide tonight. There is so much action out there. And again, we got 4 in the NHL. What do we got? 3 in the NBA. 3 spots in the NBA. I had to go different. The NBA has been doing me a little dirty the last 2 days. And going to change it up just a little bit. Just a small tinker to try to maximize that opportunity. I wonder if it's my shirt. I wonder if that's the case. It's probably the green screen. Let me see this. Let me see if this does something here. And then we got 2 college basketball games just to start us off here. Just an appetizer in college basketball. But nope, that didn't work, did it? That didn't work, did it? All right. Well, look, we are where we are. We can't fix it now. We got to get moving. We got to keep it. It's got to be the green screen factor behind me. You know, ever since that green screen went up, nothing positive has happened here from a video production perspective. But I do have a lovely lion mane on top of this dome for once. So actually not for once. Back in the day, you know. Listen. Enough of that already. Enough is enough. It's time to get busy. And we got to make some ground up here because we have not had the best of weeks so far. I always feel like when we start talking about, I've told you guys, I'm superstitious as all get out. So start talking about success and you're just ready for failure. You know, you got to stay in the moment, stay in the day. We got a little bit nuked yesterday. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good to come out here and talk to you guys about that. You know, we're still idling around 26 units in the last 30 days, but it doesn't feel good. We lost the 3-pack yesterday. Crushed that Virginia under. When I say crushed it, I mean we had 134.5. They got 106 total points. I hope you guys wrote those down. Virginia, especially off of those overs at home, you know it, they're rolling. We did cash that Georgia team total under. How about that? Tennessee, what do we say? Man, nailed that game to a T. It's disappointing to see the results when you're so dialed in, right? What do we say? Expected halftime, maybe it's, what was the number I even used? Do you remember? 28-26 or something like that, I said. What was the score? Like 25-26? I mean, that second half was absolutely lit up exactly like we talked about. That's why you got to write this stuff down. That was sadly about the end of the positive. Freddie Gaudreau. Let's talk about the TNT effect. What did I tell you guys? Dog and under, first game. Favorite and over, second game. You should have been able to get the Edmonton Oilers at plus 120 at minus 1.5. You cashed, if you parlayed those two together, it was about a plus 285. And if you got the minus 1.5 with the over, that was another plus 325. So TNT effect. Now you know. Unfortunately, Frederick Goudreau did not get there for us out there. He was probably the worst guy on the ice. He was a -2 in the rating overall. And the NBA did us dirty. Kansas was probably by the time the day rolled on, that was the most public play. Disappointed. Some guys were on it too that I saw later in the day. I was like, man, I'd fade the shit out of these guys. Anyhow, the Bulls got busted up by Atlanta. But take note, what did we see? Vucevic and his rebounds. They came through. Not for us, but they came through. Golden State, 216.5. Turned out to be a battle. Golden State got on top, though. That's how bad. Remember, we saw Minnesota was in that 0-13 trend at home. That's now 0-14 at home, but we lost. And I don't know what to say about this Nets game. Holy shit. We're not quite to the 8-minute mark, but holy cow. 213.5. The Clippers did their part. They got a $1.26. I had to double check. I had to do this with the eyeballs. 57 points out of the Brooklyn Nets last night. What? I mean, that's got to be the lowest. I think it's at least the lowest the team's put up this season. It's disgusting. So, action alert. Get ready right now. We're going to go impromptu here. I don't necessarily love these types of spots. I don't want to get in there and try to force something, but it's a spot that I do love. So it's important that we take note. I've got some action on it. I want to get this out to you guys right off the gate here. The old Delaware Blue Hens. They got Stony Brook coming to town. And yeah, we've seen some cash pouring in here. In fact, if we look at these numbers, and I'm only sharing this one right now because it starts at 6:30. So if you like what I'm selling here, go get it. We got 91% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the Stony Brook side. The line has not moved. All that money, no move. Totals come down 2 points. 80% of the bets and 80% of the cash on the under. Correlated. Why do I love this spot so much? Well, just thinking of my old roommate when I lived in Philly, who was a Delaware Blue Hen. That was intertwined with the Mike Piazza story. But what do we got? We got Delaware. They were in Hampton on the road. They had back-to-back road games. They played 4 of their last 5 on the road. They were covered. They're covered everything. Then they go into Hampton and they get busted up. 83-77. 5 days ago. For 5 days, they've had to sit there and go, man, we just had back-to-back wins. They've been covering like crazy. Now, because they were -2.5 point favorites, you're buying low. Stony Brook just played Northeastern. Bunch of book nerds up there, but they were in Stony Brook. Stony Brook's first road game since the start of the month. They played at Monmouth. Not that big a travel for Stony Brook to Monmouth. They lost. And they lost at William and Mary. That was at home. They lost to Drexel at home. They lost to Northeastern at home, but they covered the spread. So important for us to jump in and take those first half opportunities here. We've got the buy low, sell high. We've got the home team pissed off for 5 days that they just took that L. It's a big number. It's lofty. We got no line movement at 10.5. We'll cut it down to 5.5 and take the Delaware Blue Hens in the first half, -5.5. That's going to kick our action off, boys and girls. Now, you know the deal. Need your help to grow this thing? Starts by way of one thing. One button, as a matter of fact. And it is the like button, you guys. Take a second now. If you haven't done so already, smash that thumbs up for us. That's how we grow the channel. That's how we get new eyeballs out here. That's how we attract new cappers, new bettors. They share their best bets. We create more programming. We all make more money. By the way, if you guys just taking that single second to close the comments, hit the thumbs up, and then we'll pop them back open and we'll fire off the rest of this card. How about that? Let's make a deal. I'll live up to my end of it. I just need you guys to do that for me right now, kindly, and thank you. All right. Time to get to work. You know the deal. Pen and paper out. The best in the business assemble right here. They're ready to share their best bets, their favorite action. They've been marinating on the card all day long. And it is time to get to work and share those best bets. Of course, put the best bets in the chat. On top of that, we got to move fast. We got less than an hour. in an hour's time. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I hate to have to start to click shit around. In less than an hour's time, we're going to be live. About an hour's time. We're going to be live. Razor sharp picks, sports money, popping off OKC and Cleveland in a battle. Can't wait for that game. That's going to be fun to watch. 7:30. Game time. You know we'll get together a few minutes ahead of time. I'll have a nice little same game parlay to pop out there as well. But man, we got to fly, you guys. Forgive me if I skip over anybody's action as we get through this thing because there's a 10-game slate to cover with you guys that I've got action on. I don't want you to, actually, it's 11 with that Delaware spot, but that was a little impromptu because that's my favorite spot. It's my favorite spot. Not necessarily Delaware. I'm not a big fan of Delaware in general. That being said, though, you know the deal. Sitting there, buy low, sell high, travel, all the things that we talked about. And speaking of talking about, here's our guy, Joe T, the number one commenter here. 99.4% first comment ratio. Kraken and Jets first period over 1.5. For our guy, Joe T, Jover, J.O., he's going to be out there tonight with us. He's going to be hanging out, having a pop, hopefully. And Redbeard's in the house. Like Sanderson, anytime goal at plus 550. Chitra, anytime goal at plus 425. And the Blue Jackets and the over 6. Little parlay action. Blue Jackets and the over 6 at plus 165. Redbeard, get your money, my dude. I love that. Some big scores there, dude. Good luck to you. Shout out to Joe Dub. Nicholas Handy's in the house. Redbeard's also adding some Devils Leafs first period over. I love the Leafs tonight. Didn't make the card, but I love them. For what it's worth. Avalanche thrive in this exact spot. They're an impressive 27-5 at home when facing a team on no rest. I love Colorado tonight. I love Colorado tonight. I had to be a little more selective with what I give you guys, but I love Colorado tonight. Absolutely on board there. Each and every stride, Keith's going to be rocking with us tonight. He likes OKC to win and get revenge versus the Cavs. 8 minus 130. So they're going to get their revenge, but he doesn't want to lay the 2. So he's going to take the minus 130. 2 best teams is fun, that's for sure. The nasty Nate's in the house. He says Pritchard and KP got his cash for him. Man, oh man, what I tell you guys about that ref? That ref in that game with the double digits, 49%. I didn't take the money line on Toronto. I did take plus 12.5. Didn't need the points, but I took them anyways. Man, that would have been a great money line score. There's a couple spots where we've seen them boys come through and get it done. Kripke's in the house. Says, nice stat, Joe. I do like that stat. Thank you for sharing. That's Nate says White didn't show up. Hey, man, 2 of 3 is not bad, dude. 66% and plus money plays. That's how you want to live, dude. Trisha M asking about the Pegasus process. She likes my green aura. Your aura! It's purple! Does anybody know what movie that's from? Come on. Come on. Someone's got to know. Your aura! Come on. Jay Peasy's in the house. Let's go. Jay Peasy's been firing on some Euro basketball. Some tennis winners. Jay Peasy's on fire. The Groovy Aliens in the house says, howdy to the pimp. Cleveland Cavs favorite plays straight money line. No chasers. Joe Dub says, come on, my home team Cavs going to be a good one. Big Scott 510 says, Nashville puck line. OKC first half money line for Big Scott 510. I love Nashville. Love it. Tell you what, I love the over. I love it so much I parlayed the minus 1.5 in the over just for some side action. I love Nashville. Love Nashville out there. Let's go. Trisha M says each every side. Looking to do their thing. Subhumans in the house. Sub Club. Subway Sandwich is rocking out there. Make sure you guys check out the First Strike. We recorded that last night. 4 UFC bets. 4 dogs. 4 dog spots. Doggies are barking this weekend between VBMMA and Ramon Scott. And then our First Strike ensemble. 7 plays to get you paid for this UFC 311 card that we'll be live for at 5:30 on Saturday. Daddy Beats is in the house. Ron Young's here. Kripke says sports money got that green money. JPC says he's had a great week. He has. I've been seeing the time. I've been tailing tennis firsthand. WTA, baby. All the way. Let's go, JPC. Pimpin' ain't a hobby. JOB, my friend. Let's go. Stop Geo's here. Irish King's here. Let's go, man. T. Moss is ready to roll. And Nasty did like some parlay. Delaware first half money line, Memphis first half money line. Okay. What's up, Peter Gracia's in the house. Robert McCormick's here. Man, we're fired up. We're ready to go. David Wallace is checked in and ready to rock. Irish King likes the Cleveland money line. Let's go, you guys. Time to fire up and kick some butt. How about that? I appreciate you, Peter. Thanks for the kind words. Stop Gio's got Tyus Jones, alternate over 7.5 assist at plus 260-ish. Woo! Shout out to Barry. Says, what's up, family? We're family, man. We are family. We spend a lot of time together, don't we? A lot of time, especially come Saturdays. Shoot. Irish King smoking on backwards. Cavaliers going to beat those OKC in the mouth. Bust them in the mouth. Sorry. Yeah. Big groovy alien. Let's go. Damon Waring says, good evening, Cappers. Good luck, and let's get this money. Let's go. Gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. All right. We got the first play out of the way. First play's out of the way. Let's talk about the second play. We're going to move briskly. Of course, you guys know the deal. Even faster than usual because there's something I still got to do before we rock this live stream. And there's never any time in the day, is there? But there is time to talk about this Flyers game and the Islanders. It's Sammy Ersson. It's Ilya Sorokin, at least likely. Now, Sammy Ersson, his numbers are light. He's 11-7-2. I mean, he's certainly got a 20-game ensemble under his belt. Should be more. He's been injured. But he's got a 2.87 goals against average. He's got an 88.7% save percentage and 2 shutouts. Sorokin, 500 goalie, 13-13-4. Played a lot. Healthy as a horse. Literally and figuratively. And when you look at this thing, overall, he's 282 goals against average with a 90.2% save percentage. We got goalies that are pretty closely marked. Now, clearly, Sorokin's got a little bit better save percentage than what we've seen with Ersson, but the Flyers did have a little bit of a struggle. Flyers on a little run. They got a little hot streak going. They're 2-0-1 in their last 3 games. And Ersson only allowed 3 or fewer goals in 4 straight games he's fired. And here's the thing. We talked about how closely matched these 2 goaltenders are, 2.87 versus 2.82, 88.7 and 90.2. Recent performance in Ersson's last 5 games, he's up to a 94% save percentage. Arrow's pointing up, boys and girls. Arrow is pointing up. And then on the flip side, we do have Sorokin, who did stretch himself. He best performance all season, 30 shots, but it was a shutout. It was a 4-0 shutout. Now, we know when teams get shut out, we like to see them come back and fire. But there's something to be said for those teams that do shut out. And it was in Vegas, or it was Vegas that they shut out. So Vegas is a pretty strong team. There's potential little exhale and collective breath that's out there here, but I'm banking on this being that lower scoring game. And if it's lower scoring, we've seen the Flyers fight. We saw them fight the other night. They go down 2 goals. They battle back. They kick some ass against the Panthers. Trisha M's Cats. Then they roll into Columbus. They take the out. We had them against the Cats. We faded them against Seabus. We're going to play on them. Now, after a shootout, the Flyers do have a tendency on the road to go over. 6 straight overs after a shootout game. And they wouldn't quit. So, that being said, time to go, time to fire, time to take the Philadelphia Flyers here. Not a homer pick, just a value play. This line's come down from plus 150 to plus 120. There's sharp, respected action coming in and hitting on this thing. And we're going to hit on it as well. Plus 120 will be play number 2 on the card. We'll keep it rolling. Apologize again. Shout out to Grandma. Grandma's back in the house. Shit. It had to go to the wash. It's always arm's reach away, Grandma, but it had to go to the dishwasher here after a healthy night of cocktailing last night. So shout out to you, Grandma. Appreciate you rocking with us. Thank you for that gifted sports money membership. You know, we're listener supported, so taking the time to help us grow this community a member at a time means a ton, Grandma. You rock. We appreciate you being a part of this community. You lead with integrity and commitment showing up here on the regular with us. We very much appreciate you, Grandma. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Doctors told her not to use sugar in her tea and coffee, so I substitute peppermint schnapps. Hey. I like how you roll, Grandma. I get down with that. All right, let's move on. We got keep this thing. Whoops. I'm making my banners on the fly, so you just saw this next play. We might as well put it on the screen. There's no secrets amongst friends here. Yeah, we're rolling in. Rolling on dubs here. Got ourselves a situation where Montreal Canadiens have been firing. Pissed about that the other night. I really screwed that up. I meant the Canadiens, not the Ducks. I don't even know how that happened. With all the boxes I got to check and all the hoops I got to jump through to make this shit happen. And of course, we did see the Canadiens came through again. They're firing. And not only are they firing, they're going in the capital of the unders. That's the Dallas Stars in the Central Division out there. They got Dubes. They got Ottinger. Now, we talked about Dubes the other day. Doobies, Dubes, Dopes, Dubes, Dobbs, Dubes, whatever. Young rookie phenom. He's now 3-0. We bet on him the last time he played. He's got a 97% save percentage. I'm sorry. Excuse me. He's got a 96% save percentage. He's got a 0.29 point. I can't even say it. It's so low. 0.97 goals against average. There we go. We do know that's a revenge spot. It was a shootout loss 5 days ago, and Sammy Montembeault was in the pipes. 2-1 loss. Looking to revenge that loss. And who other than this phenomenal rookie to go out there with these numbers and battle in an under festival? The Stars, we just caught them. That big 4-1 win against Toronto. That was that spot where they lost 7 straight in Toronto. 7 straight. Came back. They shut Toronto down. I think it was only 1 goal by Toronto. I believe they got 4, which was still under the number. And they came back and they got that W. I like Montreal tonight. I think it's a good spot for the Habs, the Habitants. Ottinger's 22-9-1. He's got a 2.31 goals against average and a 91.2% save percentage. Problem is the Stars are 8-1 in their last 9 games. When they got Ottinger in the pipes, they are just on fucking fire. And he's played great. He played in that 4-1 victory out there. Saved 27 of 28 shots on goal. He's allowed 2 or fewer goals in 5 of his last 6 games. Yada. Look, this is an under. These teams are battling right now, and who would have thought this could be a potential Stanley Cup type of matchup? I don't think the Canadiens go all the way, but I think they're going to play like it. 21-18-4, they're fighting. And they got this kid in front of them, and they're undefeated with this kid in net. He's playing great. Ottinger's playing great. Goaltender battle royale, and you got an under 6. Under 6 at -110. Fair price. Goaltending extraordinaire. We're going to see if this thing gets us to the bank here tonight. It should. Oh, crack. It should get us there. And I feel pretty excited about that one. So get yourselves a little Dallas under 6 in your lives. We'll keep her moving. Keep this thing going here. We got to pick up the pace already. Can you believe it? We already got to pick up the pace. Where the hell's the time go? I don't know. But I do know I love this spot here with a little Calgary, St. Louis action. And look, there's a couple spots in the NHL that are under festivals here in St. Louis at home. Happens to be one of them, the majority of the time. Overall, that should have been water, not a soda, not a pop. You know, you guys ever hear the northern folks call it pop? Not soda, it's pop. Still call it pop, except for when I lived in Philly and everyone made fun of me. Okay. Dustin Wolf pops off in the goal for the Calgary Flames. He's 15-6-2. He's got a 2.5 goals against average and a 91.6% save percentage. Exceptional? Maybe. But what is exceptional is he's only allowed 10 goals in his last 6 games. And the Flames are 5-1 because of it. 91.6 save percentage, pretty solid. His last 6 games, 93.7% save percentage. Uptick. I gotta get an arrow instead of using my finger with my busted nail still. On the other side of things, Joel Hofer, confirmed, 9-4-1, 2.86 goals against average, 90.2% save percentage. Not bad. Played well his last game, 21 of 23 shots. It was against the Ducks. They busted him up. It was a 6-2 final. But look, man, 9-4-1 in 15 games is not a shabby record. They play well in front of this guy. They're back on their home ice. And it's a revenge spot for the Calgary Flames. They just beat up 2-1 on Tuesday. They're looking to go back and exact their revenge. Now, this is a tricky spot for sure. It's either going to be 2-1 or a potential to be 20-19. But I'm going to favor the under. Here's the deal. When the opponent's on the second leg of the back-to-back, I'm sorry. Let me restart that. The Flames specifically on the road with a day's rest. 1-24 to the under. Road Flames, 1 day's rest. 1-24 to the under. In the under capital. Or we'll call it the capital. We'll call it the honorable mention under. It's good enough for me. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's going to be an under. It's probably a revenge opportunity where the Flames do get this win. The win, though, the percentage on the win was more, it was like 22-20. It didn't have enough of a mark, but 1-24 bounced off the page. That stat, by the way, that goes all the way back to 2016 with those parameters that are out there. So this is meaty. This one's got some history behind it. That 1-24 is not just a flash in the pants. It's a big opportunity for us to crush an under here. 5.5, -108. Take it, run with it, move on to the next game. We'll bring her home with another big trend that we've got in the Vancouver Canucks and the Los Angeles Kings. Battle on top of battle on top of battle. You know the deal. I was talking about this one. I said, I like this Vancouver spot here. Potential circle opportunity. This is the one. We uncircled the Jets game because the Jets had that loss. Then we saw the players coming back. We saw they pulled, I forgot his name now. Chronic. Just pulled that one out of my, did you see that? I had to reset and then I got it. It was Chronic. Coming back from the IR, and now they got Thatcher Demko back in net as well. Don't look now, but Darcy Kemper's busting the league in the mouth. 12-3-5. He's got a 2.11 goals against average of 92.1% save percentage. And the Kings not scoring a lot of goals. 5 goals in their last 4 games. Somehow they're 2-2 in that stretch. So they're going to need your boy to step up and be big. And what did he do his last game? He's a 92.1% save overall. He went 96.7% save. It was a 1-0 loss to the Oilers. We were on that under. He's been firing. He's been battling. And again, the Canucks now. This is the potential fire on the Canucks spot, in my opinion. We talked about all these players coming back. They're now in. We're now past the first game, the players come back situation. They got Thatcher Demko going in goal. Looking to bounce back after getting the shit kicked out of him by the Jets. Was expected. We uncircled it. Too bad we didn't circle the Jets, though. That's one thing to uncircle a team. It's another thing to fire on the other side of things here. Demko's just got to get his legs underneath him. I mean, his numbers are, I don't know, borderline irrelevant. 2-2-3. Got a 3.17 goals against average, 88.3%. The reason I say borderline irrelevant is because he's in and then he's hurt. 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 So ultimately, I think he's got a great opportunity because he's going against a team here in the Kings that have been scoring goals. What more could you ask for in a situation than that? Than being able to fire and take advantage of these guys here. And I think that's exactly what they do. I think this is a great opportunity. In fact, not only that, where did it go? Here it is. How about a little 3-20 to the under trend as well? Oh, get that out of there. Get that out of there. And it has a lot to do with the revenge opportunity. When you played them last at home and you took the L, you gave the puck away a lot and the opponent scored less than 2 goals. Your last game, that's the 1-0 game. You gave the puck away a shitload. The last time you played this team, you lost at home. You go back out there. You don't give the puck away a lot. You battle back. You're looking for revenge. And you're on the road. So you got to go battle down, sticks down, play hard. 3-20 to the under in those spots. Not a Jover card tonight. It is a junder for me. I got the under 5.5. It's juicy. You want to take the juice down, add Vancouver to it. Fuck it. Vancouver in the under. I got the under 5.5. It's $1.40. 140. A little juicier than I would like, but look. Sometimes we got to pay to play and see it. And we're going to have to see if the Kings can show it to us here. They're not scoring. Canucks didn't score shit their last game. They should be super angry. For sure. But is that enough to go out there and win the game? Maybe. Is it enough to go over the total? Probably not. The line's telling you this thing's going to go under. What are you going to take, a 5? If there was a 5 out there, I would have taken it. J-Main says, are we on the Broad Street Bullies tonight? We are, J-Main. First game. First game on the card. Moon's over Miami. I was just going to say, that makes me think of Denny's, dude. Peter Gracia says, soda pop. It's pop, dude. Get yourself a pop. All right. All right. Juggler 23's in the house says, fade hot teams as road dogs. The Rockets came into Sacramento as dogs, despite being winners of 5 straight. Active on Sacramento Kings, a spot that covers over 70% of the time. There you go. You got to write that stuff down. All right. We got to keep her moving. We're going to talk about this Pacers and Pistons. Now, we talk about this with the NHL. We don't care so much about line movement. We know it's a sharper bet sport. Sometimes we'll use it as that weather vane like we talked about with a couple of these spots, specifically the Flyers. Down to a plus 120, even though everybody's betting on the Islanders. But it's more of just a positive confirmation of the situation. But when we roll into more bet sports, more popularly wide public bet sports as well, we want to certainly take a look at where's this cash coming and what is Vegas doing about it here. And not just Vegas, I get it, the books, right? And what happened is the Pacers opened up as dogs and now they're favorites. They shot right through 0, plus 2.5 down to -2 with 58% of the bets and 57% of the cash on the Pacers. I canceled that Knicks game last night because Karl Anthony Towns is a scumbag. I should have just left that in there. Speaking of the NBA, the NBA is tricky, man. Even with all the years I've been looking at it here, we got an over. We've gone 225.5 now, 229.5. 88% of the bets and 86% of the cash on the over. The Jover. It's got big movement. I guess kind of the way I was looking at this thing here is, look, the Pistons have been firing. So have the Pacers. The Pacers, I think the situation with the Pacers is that Cleveland Cavaliers game. They got them at the right time. They came in, they busted up Brooklyn, they busted up the Bulls, they busted up Golden State, they busted up Cleveland, and they got their bottom smacked. The back-to-back spot against Cleveland, you knew that wasn't going to end well. 127-117 loss at home. Now they're going to go back on the road. So they got a little yo-yo situation, which to me is a shit travel spot. You're home, you're away, you're home, you're away, you're home. It's just hard to get any rhythm and momentum going. On the flip side, who's 3-1 against the spread and 4-1 overall in their last 5? It's the Pistons. The Pistons. They had back-to-back home games. Golden State, they lost. They didn't cover. They were favorites. They were small dogs. Barely didn't cover. 2.5-point dog. They lost by 3. So they battled. They busted up Toronto. 123-114. They were laying a 5 spot. They covered. No problem. They've been scoring. Problem is their defense has been letting other teams score as well. That's not going to be a good recipe overall. But they go into the Garden, and they took care of business. They were 8.5-point dogs. They 124-119 them outright. Big plus 270 spot on the money line. And, I got news for you guys. When you see these 2s, the books don't really know what their algorithms can't computate who's going to win these fucking games. It's a coin flip for them. Generally, in a coin flip situation, I want to be on the dog, especially if it's the home dog and I'm catching points. But I told you I got to mix some things up because the last 2 days I've taken a little bit of a bath in the NBA and I'm tired of it. Tired of this nonsense with this National Basketball Association. So I got a little 3-1 bomber I'm going to toss out there for this game particularly. I'm going back. I don't care if this number faded through 0. I probably shouldn't say that. Every time I say that, anyways, we'll just leave that. We'll just leave that there. But the guy I'm going to look at in this game here is Cade Cunningham. Oops. Oopsie. You can follow my action on BetStamp at Mikey Money. You'll see it all in there as I enter it. Anything I share with you guys here, anything I share on the community tab, anything I share for Strike, you're going to see it there. You see it before anybody. But I went to Cade. Look, just playing the numbers. His scoring line is huge. He's got 25.5 on his points. He's gotten 30 points or more in 5 of his last 10 games. But when he's scoring, he's not passing. I know that's probably the most obvious thing you could say, but sometimes you just have to simplify it. He's got a rebound line of 5.5. So he's not boarding up. His assist line is 9.5. And then if you look back at it, what's he done with that? He's only gone over that number once in his last 9 games. So we'll slap the under on there. That's an even money play. We'll slap the Pistons on there, expecting them to fire at home against this Pacers team. And we just need Cade to be a ball hawk. Cade to be a ball hawk. Detroit to win. We cash this plus 296 spot. That's how we're going to open up here. Yeah, we're going to get aggressive in the NBA. Pissed off. Not making irrational, emotional decisions. Just pissed off. Tired of this fucking nonsense. And 3-1 is an opportunity for us to score here by factoring back in. And to go back to what works for us and getting the player prop tied to a spot should work just fine for us. So let's see if we can't cash this first game. We will move onward. We will move upward. We will talk about the Cavaliers and OKC. And what I just say, anytime the books are hanging those twos, their algorithm can't accurately computate who's going to win the game. Big factor. And you guys, I tipped my hand. I already tell you where I like to be when it's in a situation like that. Now, line movement's a factor. Plus 3.5 for the Cavaliers has dropped to 2. Why? Well, we have 50% of the bets, but 52% of the cash. So think about that. These books are totally squashed. They don't know what to make of this game. They flop it in at a 3.5. They got 50-50 cash and they're scared. So they moved it down to a 2. Then if you look at it when it's tight like this, let's see if we can get a better depiction of where the money's coming in. Well, the sharp bets are hammering the Cavaliers. It went from plus 138 to plus 118. You got 31% of the bets, 67% of the cash. Right there tells you everything you need to know about where the expert bettors are putting their money. I believe in it. I think it makes sense. Like I said, when the books don't know what the hell's going on, it's an opportunity to take those points. This money line came down from plus 138 to plus 120. The back number's gone up, though. It's gone up a half a point despite excessive action. 86% of the bets and 86% of the cash. And yeah, I think it makes sense. Look, the Cavaliers are literally trending to be one of the best records in NBA history. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, they're going to have to do something in the playoffs. But that could seriously cement this team as one of those never saw it coming best teams in NBA history. Ridiculous. With a bunch of nobodies. I know they don't have nobodies, but you get what I'm saying. On the flip side of things, look, it is Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland. So I know they're not nobodies. Those are the dudes. They can go out there and score at will. Should be a good game. Look, is it coin flippy? Probably. Should we see some revenge? Probably. Does it come down to overtime? Probably. It's a battle. It's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a fun game to be a part of. That's why we're live streaming this game. I'll tell you this. For anybody that does want to see a counter narrative and wants to look at a point or a trend that goes along with it, when they're short favorites and they have rest, they win a lot. 7-0 and 7-0 against the spread. They're covering those games by 16 points a game. Are they going to go out there and bust up this team by 16 points in a revenge spot? I don't think so. I'll say this too. They're 12-0 when they're at home, coming off a 10-point or greater road win. So you do have some intersecting zeros that say to go take OKC. I'm just not going to do it. I see the sharper bettors coming in there on it. I want to follow where that steam is coming in. I believe in what they have to see in this game. And I think when the algorithms are whacked and they don't know what side it's going to be on, you got to follow something. I'm going to follow the sharps in this one. I'm going to go with a 2.5 here. And we will see ultimately how this thing comes down to it. But I feel confident in it. I think it's a good play for us. Probably win it outright. 2.5 is just something that makes me feel better about my number. But I'm not taking the -2.5 and saying, fuck it, I'll just take the money line just in case. We know what happens. That means, you know what that means. You know where we're at with that thing. So I'm going to go Cavaliers. I gave you guys some trends for the OKC side of things, but this is just a gut, right? We talked yesterday about the art and the science of this thing. The science will tell you it's a great spot for OKC. The art, something you can't quite mathematically calculate, just tells me Cleveland's going to come out there and fuck these boys up. That's what I think. Oh, look, Hartenstein. Big factor for Kripke. I agree with that. You know, I probably should have read the injury report. Super salty lunch. Super dehydrating. Or maybe that's excessive cocktailing. I don't know. Look, both these teams are firing. There's no question about it. Yeah. I mean, look. If OKC had all their dogs barking, yeah, I'd say okay. They don't. It's enough for me to push back. You saw where I'm at. You see my action. Let's keep her moving. Redbeard's got the +2 as well. Sir Maculos Pisces Wizards first quarter money line. I don't really fuck around with those first quarters. I'm not the guy to ask, but maybe the chat can share with you. Nasty Nate says now Detroit +2 on this book. Yeah, they were excuse me. They were dogs. I think they were even money for me. Where did I have that at? Let me see. -102 was the money line for me with the Pistons. And it made sense because I saw 2.5s at like -120s, 125s. So if it's dropped down to 2, that means that 2 has been getting hit again. So the nickel calculation made sense to take the Detroit money line. And I'm putting Cunningham in there. I don't usually like unders in prop bets, but look, got to try something a little bit different in the NBA because the last 2 days have not been pretty. Last game, speaking of trying something different, let's get in the game here and talk about this one because, man, what the hell? 67 points? Phenomenal. I don't know if it was phenomenal defense or just a circumstance where the Nets are on that second leg of the back-to-back. I don't know. You know, I like the Clippers. That's why it was so disappointing to put them on the shit list to start the season. They got that new stadium. There's a lot of big things happening for LA. It hurt my feelings. They had to go out there. They had to be publicly humiliated on our shit list because they needed to get the message. I think they did. They're not +2.5. They've gone to -7. They opened at +2.5. They've gone to -7. Factors like the players coming back, Kawhi, and the whole team being ready to roll certainly speaks to that. 77% of the bets, 79% of the cash on the Clippers. Numbers drop. It was 227. It's gone down to 220.5. It's down to 219.5. With 82% of the bets and 82% of the cash on the over. We have reverse line movement. I told you how shitty the Portland Trailblazers are at home. Against the spread, they're 9-9. Feels like they've taken a lot more losses than that. They're 11-9 on the road. And Clippers are pretty solid. They're 10-9 on the road. They're 12-4 as a favorite against the spread. When they're marked as a favorite, they gas them. And they're an under team. 14-24 to the under on the season. Overall. Spots I want to be involved with here. I'll keep it short. There's no reason to belabor it. We talked a lot about this Clippers team the other day. And we talked specifically about how bad Portland is at home. Portland's just bad all around. Now, there are some trends that say Portland's a play-on spot tonight, but I'm opting to pass on those trends because I don't believe them. We saw this Trailblazers team. We saw what they were doing. Overall, when we look at some of their numbers and how they were factoring in on this stuff, look, it ain't pretty. Overall, 4 of their last 5 games have been losses. And they've been at home. Back-to-back home losses. They lost to Miami 119-98. Nobody wants to play in Miami. Jimmy Butler wants the hell out of there. He's reaffirmed himself and said, I commit that I'm out of here. Trade me right fucking now. If anybody knows what movie that's from, I'd be impressed. Then they lose to the Nets. 132-114. We were all over the Nets. Because of Portland's that bad at home. Nothing, in my opinion, has changed. They've covered the spread on the road. They had 3 straight covers, Detroit, New Orleans, and Dallas on the road, but they're back home. And the Clippers just keep mowing people down. 3 of their last 4 have gone under. They've covered the spread 4 of their last 5. They're 3-2 straight up against it in the last 5 games. Jamari Grant's still out. Thibault's still out. Robert Williams might play today. He's questionable, but it's the illness, which means there's that little flu bug running around the locker room. And on the flip side, it's Terrence Mann with that calf injury that's questionable, and everybody else is a go for the Clippers. I think it's going to be bad news. Now, the second leg of the back-to-back, does that tire and gas this defense out, and they go out there and blow a load in the second half? I can't imagine that. They just held the team to 67 points. I can't imagine that. I can't. You're not playing all your horses when it's not even a competitive battle. They doubled them up, 126-67. Dudes were taking like warm-up shots against them. It was ridiculous. I'm gonna parlay this one together. This parlay pays plus 157. So we're foregoing the spread. We're foregoing the 7. We're banking on Portland being bad and taking the under 220.5 for this plus 157. 2 parlays in the NBA. But that's the kind of night it felt like. I'm going to go down and go swinging. Swing for some fences here and make this ground up in the NBA these last 2 days in one single day. That's how we're going to fire on this thing here. Not egregious. Not greedy. Not trying to go out there and overhammer this thing, but some calculated decisions. Leveraging some numbers. Using some data to help us make informed decisions here. And I got a doozy for you guys here. We covered this NBA or the college basketball spot there with the Delaware in the first half. What's going on in that game? Let's see. 2 college basketball games. We'll get you guys out of here and get ready for this big live stream event tonight. It's tied. Shit. 1919. Stony Brook and Delaware tied with 9 minutes to go. Plenty of time. There's plenty of time. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. What's up, Tarek B? What's up, Rick J? Shakira broke Jimmy. Those hips don't lie, man. Those hips don't lie. Shout out to my guy AOD's in the house. The Pistons. Ricky Levine says Thunder are 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 as home favorites. That's the science, Ricky. That is the science. The Chill says Georgia Southern first half money line looking like a tasty treat. I'll take note of that. I'm looking for some more college bet. Peter Gracia got it. Just not that. Good job, Peter Gracia. Shout out, dude. Appreciate you, man. Smoke and Mirrors gifted a sports money membership. Appreciate Smoke and Mirrors. That's my dude. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Smoke and Mirrors, for being a loyal trooper with us and helping us grow this community a member at a time. We're going to see. I hope we see my guy tonight. Hope we see him rocking with us here. All right. Obviously, I screwed this up because the first number is the record, and the second number is the conference record. So Hofstra is 2-2 in the conference in the CAA, and Towson 3-1. So Towson challenged themselves a little bit in the offseason or in the early going non-conference play. They're the home team here in this spot. Overall, we can look at some trends. Let's look at the line flow here. Give me just a second to pull this up, and we will fire away. Towson open at -2.5 has moved to 4, even seeing 5s. Hofstra's got to be a step down in schedule. Hofstra played punching bags. This is a nationally televised game for what it's worth on CBS Sportsnet. Maybe the jitters for some of these dudes that are CAA athletes. 69% of the bets and 73% of the cash are on Towson. So that's why the line's moving. Cash is coming in. It's respected cash. There's that positive differential we look for, 4 points, showing Towson to give 4 points. This total's gone up from 122 to 124 and a half, with 80% of the bets and 80% of the cash on the over in this spot. Collectively, Towson's got 3 straight overs. They put up 93 points against Drexel. They put up 80 against Northeastern. On the road, not so many points. 69 against College of Charleston. 65 against UNC Wilmington. And Hofstra, look, if you want to play the recent opponent game, they beat UNC Wilmington 65-61. And UNC Wilmington, Hofstra beat them 66-63. Gina from Hofstra. Probably told you guys that story before. 4 straight. Every time I see Hofstra, I think that. Gina from Hofstra. Anyways, that's a story for a different time. But Hofstra's got 4 straight unders. They've been playing some defense. Man, they short down Northeastern to 37 points. 37 points. It's their defense versus the speed and pace that potentially Towson brings to the table that could be a challenge in this game here. But look, both these teams are under teams. So contrary to the trends, these are under teams, and I'll tell you that in a second. 2-3 to the under for Towson at home. 3-6 to the under for Hofstra on the road. Defense travels. Talked about that before. I was just looking at, I saw my old Portland note that I forgot to mention. That's okay. Towson at home, though, 10 night games in the conference have gone way over the number of 135. Think about that. 10 straight night games. Now, you know, when we get to the 10s, I start to look for the other side. Conference opponents at home, at night, over 135. This line opened at 123.5. You don't think the books knew that they're busting out those scores? 135 plus? Now, when the total is less than 144.5, team has less than 13 days rest and attempted less than 66 shots. Hofstra's 11-0 to the under, and they're smoking the under by 17 points a game. They're 9-0 to the under when the team they're playing has less than 7 days rest. So non-schedule nuancing, just in the middle of conference play, battling out there, getting it done. In the repetition of the season, they're an under team because they're a defensive-oriented team. We talked about the pace with Towson and the scores that they've been putting up there, but when they had 9 or more assists the previous game and 17 or more free throws, that following game, they focus on defense, and they are a perfect 14-0 to the under. I took Towson under 125.5. I'll take Gina from Hofstra. It's probably not as funny to you guys as it is to me. But it's under. It's under 125.5 for me in this game. We got all kinds of indicators here that show this is an under spot. And if these numbers with Towson going 10 points over this number, 135 plus, why did it open at 123.5? That's what I want to know. All right, let's squeeze this last game in there and get you guys out of here so we can get ready for the big live stream event tonight. You know it's going to be a lot of fun. I got a freshened up bottle of Jack Daniels. I got a fresh bottle of whiskey, of vodka. Excuse me, vodka, whiskey, what? I got a fresh case of Red Bull. We're ready. We're going to fire. Utah Valley, UT Arlington is a sharp special report. The teams here, complete polar opposites. Utah Valley 3-0. And we've got UT Arlington 0-3 in conference play. Couldn't be any more opposite. I was looking at these two teams. Let me pull the spreads up. Let me pull the numbers up. Where did you go? I think it was 8 o'clock, right? Not to worry. I'll just confirm that myself. I'm pretty sure it was 8 o'clock. Let me see. A lot of games tonight. I told you guys, we got to work together tonight. Tonight is ultra important that we all get together and rock so that we can find these lines and get these books. Okay. Minus 1.5's gone down to, well, it really hasn't moved. Because I see Arlington is plus 1.5. It's still plus 1.5. And you got 75% of the bets and 90% of the cash. There's a 15% differential where the sharps want the plus 1.5. And for all intent and purpose, 44% of the bets are on the money line. 61% of the cash is on the money line for Utah Valley. That's the old, I'm not going to bother with the 1 or 2. I'm just going to take the money line. It's gone from minus 122 to minus 106. Potential indicator that UT Arlington's live. I don't know. It's hard to get past 3, right? We talk about the 10s or fade spots, but when you see in basketball particularly, teams get to 3 in a row, got to go the other direction. That being said, though, the total's gone from 148.5 to 145.5. You got 70% of the bets and 73% of the cash on the under, and it's dropped to 145.5. I'll just move fast for you guys on this one. I did take this under. And look, these teams run unders. Utah Valley specifically has 9 straight conference games that have gone under 144. Now, look at how that last one I mentioned. 135 plus pegs a number at 123. This is 145.5. It was 148.5. The total being produced is under 144 in their last 9 games. That's where I said to you, when you look at those numbers and something doesn't catch up for that Towson spot, despite it being overs, yeah, it makes sense that we're looking at some unders there because they're benchmarking this thing 10 points below the average. In this Utah Valley spot, we're getting super close to where the number should be, but I still think there's value at 145.5. We'll take the under. We'll shut her down. That's 7 o'clock on the dot. On the button. How about that? Trisha M says, Ice Cats under 6. Well, it is Thursday, Trisha. It is Thursday. I appreciate all you guys rocking with us tonight. Shout out to KV's in the house. It's TV ESPN. Detroit, Florida. Both teams score first period. TV Edmonton and Colorado. Interesting spots from KV. AOD says, Jover got a Range Rover. Towson is an under. Don't bet overs with that team. Thanks, Jover. Appreciate you blessing our action and rocking. All right, that's the way we're going to put this thing down here tonight. Like a rabid dog, we're going to put it down and get ourselves ready to go at 7:15, 7:20. Stay tuned. Get ready. Get these bets in, and then let's regroup and fire. Shout out to Grandma Horse Racing. Shout out to Smoke and Mirrors, each gifting a sports money membership. You guys are the best. We appreciate you guys contributing, not just with your time and your effort, but your cold hard cash, man. We appreciate you guys helping grow this thing. I appreciate all you guys rocking with us tonight. You know we're going to be back. We're going to be rocking. I gave you guys everything I got tonight early. But we got plenty to fire late, so we'll see you guys in just a little bit. Enjoy yourselves here. Let's treat ourselves here to the women's tennis master himself. I know I won't say it. I won't say it. Had something to do with being the equipment manager, but nonetheless, we love our guy JPZ. He wrote the outro. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Bring sleep.